People in India are facing one of the worst economic crises of all times. And as we speak now, half of the population is sinking into poverty. Today, we are going to talk about this very problem and we will try to bring up a practical solution with which we as a responsible citizen can contribute to the country's economy.
People, Diwali is right around the corner and it is going to give us a golden opportunity to make a valuable contribution in our India's economy. Before that, you need to understand what exactly is the wider picture of our economic crisis and where the actual problem is.
Today, when people think that drop in GDP is one of the biggest problems, I got to tell you that it is not one of the biggest problems. It is just the tip of the iceberg. What's even bigger problem is that losses in GDP have been caused more due to the losses caused to the poor and less due to the losses caused to the rich. And that is why this problem becomes one of the major problems which needs to be resolved.
Since the lockdown has happened, Mukesh Ambani's net worth has increased by $22 billion, whereas 400 million people have been pushed deeper into poverty. On one side, there were people like you and me who were complaining about Zoom meetings and getting bored, whereas on the other side there were millions who lost their job. We saw disturbing footages of people eating rotten meat out of the highway, licking milk on the streets due to helplessness and hunger.
These two scenarios are pointing towards a very dangerous problem, the problem of gulf between rich and poor. If this gap continues to grow at the rate at which it is growing now, leave alone the thought of India becoming a superpower, India might end up losing the tag of a developing nation as well.
Now, the question is, what can you do to save India from this economic crisis? You might be thinking, what? What can we do? It is not in the hands of a common man. But believe me, the real power lies with you. According to economics, the value of anything including money increases with the scarcity of it.
In simple words, if we talk about it in our context, let's take an example. Suppose if we take out 1000 rupees out of the pocket of, let's say, Ambani, will it create any difference to him? No, I don't think so. But if we take out that same 1000 rupees out of the pocket of a salaried employee whose salary is around between 50,000 to 1 lakh, it will affect him a little bit. But if we take out that 1000 rupees out of the wage of a daily wage earner who earns almost 500 to 1000 rupees daily, it will create a lot of difference. He or she might sleep hungry the day he doesn't get that 1000 rupees. So you see, the value of that same 1000 rupees might not be very bothering for the rich, whereas for the poor, it might be the question of life and death. So what we can do as a society is to find out ways to trickle down wealth from rich to poor. This way we will be able to save the 400 million people from falling into the clutches of poverty.
Right now, the best possible way you can do that is by using your wallet power this Diwali shopping. The Diwali sales of Amazon and Flipkart are expected to rise 50,000 crores this year. Which means what? We are expecting 50,000 crores of flow of wealth. Every single penny of this 50,000 crore comes from people like you and me. What we need to do is to come together and divert a small fraction of this massive wealth towards the local vendors.
All you need to do is to follow 3 steps. Step 1. Make the list of all the items and stuffs you want to buy this Diwali. Step 2. Find out all the items which you can buy from the local vendors. And step 3. Go to the vendors and just buy all the items without bargaining. Merely by doing this, you will make 2 invaluable contributions to the society. The first one being bringing priceless smiles to the local vendors' faces. The second one being contributing to the Indian economic sector.
It might seem that you have just spent 500 rupees or 1000 rupees on stuffs from local vendors. But as I told you, for rich it would mean nothing, but for a poor it might mean world to him. And this is how ordinary citizens like you and me actually stand up and make a valuable contribution to our economy and help this country recover.
If you like the video, please share it as much as possible, because in the rat race of asking questions and seeking answers from the politicians, we forget that we have the supreme power. We are ordinary citizens, but we have the extraordinary power to create an impact as a society. So my dear friends, let's join hands, let's be the change, let's take the initiative. Because once a wise man said, the world doesn't need heroes, the world just needs people to stop waiting for them.